Hi everyone, hope you're all okay. Today we're going to be doing another drawing lesson and we're going to be looking at a technique called graphite transfer. This is a really good technique if you're trying to get quite a complicated image down on paper. It just allows you to get those basic shapes down there and then you can start developing it further. So I'll do a little demonstration, then you can have a go. Okay, here we go. So all you're going to need for this is some paper, pencils, a pen, and the image that you want to get onto the paper. So the image I'm going to use, and this guy's been in a couple of the previous videos, is a picture of Robin the cat. Now I could just copy that directly onto the paper, or I could sit Robin the cat in front of me and try and draw him, but he'd probably run away. It's a complicated image and I want to get it really accurate, so what I'm going to do is the process called graphite transfer. You get your picture and you turn it over, and then you get a nice soft pencil. Now you'll see on the pencils that they've got different numbers and letters. You see? HB, that's just your average pencil. Most pencils are HB. 2B, the graphite, this bit here in a 2B is a little bit softer than the graphite in an HB. And because the graphite's a little bit softer, that means that when you're drawing with it, more of it comes off onto the paper. 4B is a little bit softer still, and therefore even more graphite comes off onto the paper, so the mark you make is darker. When you're doing this first bit, you need a relatively soft pencil if at all possible. HB will work, but a 2B or a 4B is even better. So I'm going to take the 2B and I'm going to use it on its side, and I'm just going to start scribbling on the back of the image. I'm using the pencil on its side because it's a broader surface, so I'm getting a wider mark and I can cover the image, the back of the image, a lot quicker. And you just keep building it up like that until you've covered the whole of the back of the image you're going to use. Now here's one I did earlier. Okay, so that one is completely covered. Same image, completely covered there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this image onto my paper. So I'll just place it down like that. And this is where the pen comes in. Now I'm going to use a pen because it's really hard and I can press down quite firmly with it. And I'm now just going to start working over the top of the image. So the image that you're working with, make sure it's one that you don't mind getting rid of afterwards, because you don't want to use a favourite family photo, because you're going to be drawing over the top of it. So I'm just putting in, at the moment, the basic outline. In some areas it's hard to see where I've been because Robin's fur is dark. Work around the eye there and around this eye. Let's put a few of the whiskers in. I'm not putting them all in because I'm going to be able to develop this drawing further in a minute. To suggest where his chin is. And there we go. A little bit more. So I think I've covered most of the areas there. I can have a little sneaky check, and you can see that the graphite on the back of the picture there has now ended up on the paper. I am going to leave it there, that's enough. Now, I'll just turn that around like that. There we go. And can you see that I've got the basic shape? I've got the basic shape of the picture on there. Now what I can do is I can start working back into it. So I'm going to go for an HB to start off with, looking at the picture and starting to develop more detail. And this is where, because I've chosen to do an animal, this is where I can start putting the texture of the fur in. Just referring to, pun wasn't intended there, but I'm referring to the picture here. And I'm making sure that the little marks that I make are going in the same direction as the cat's fur. Okay. Now, the next bit, I'm going to speed up. I'm going to speed up the film so you can see me developing this drawing a little bit quicker, because otherwise we might be here for quite a while. So I'm not going to be talking in the next bit. And there you go. So that's a nice quick way of getting quite a complex image down onto paper. Now it's your turn. Why don't you have a go? So there you go. It was quite straightforward. I hope you have lots of fun having a go at that. Why don't you have a look on the internet and try and find some really exciting images to base your drawings on. Anyway, if you are one of my students, as ever, you can drop your images into the Google Photos album and I'll give you feedback. If you're not one of my students, maybe your art teacher would like to have a look at what you've been doing. Have fun, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!